It's Absolute Radio, and playing live for us a little later, and here in the studio right now, it's Vampire Weekend. Hello!
Hey,
what's
how's
up?
It going?
What is it? Is "what's up" still an acceptable greeting?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because you separated it more into a "what's up," a more formal.
As opposed to the "what's up?"
Yeah, yeah. I almost think the time is coming when it's okay to do that again.
Well, you know, Tom York did that at Reading when he walked on stage. He walked on stage and went, "What's up?"
That was the greatest thing I've ever seen him do on stage.
It's not what you'd expect of Tom York either.
No, he's got a sense of humor, that guy.
Yeah, yeah. The album, #1 album, Contra. Congratulations. Is life good at the moment?
Well, we haven't had much time to reflect.
Okay.
And I think that's what happens. Like, you put an album out, you have a crazy week, and then you go on tour. So we're still kind of like reeling from all the time zone nonsense and the nonstop stuff. I mean, it felt great, and it's pretty amazing, frankly, that it turned out that way.
I must ask you about the cover, which is just one of the most striking record covers in recent years. Now, am I right in thinking that the typeface is Futura Bold?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes.
Good eye.
And the lady on it, this isn't a new photo, this is an old photograph.
1983.
1983.
See, it looks so contemporary, but at the same time it looks, I wasn't sure, it does look as if it could be a relic from the past. Is that something you found at a jumble sale or a car boot sale, or is it, where did it turn up from?
Not to be too specific, it is something that Rostam found. I don't want to get into like exactly how he found it. We're still keeping that one close to the vest.
Why is that? Is there something illegal involved? Has he been snooping through somebody else's?
There may be, we'll see.
There may be.
Elaborate Ponzi schemes.
We can't elaborate on it too much, but there may be. No, I mean, we did the right thing in terms of clearing the photo and paying for it and
so
stuff.
Does the person in the photo know that they're on the front of an album then?
Yes.
Could do 20 questions here, but I can tell. I can tell that you're not going to give anything away. I want to ask you about the success that you're enjoying now. You say you've not had much time to reflect on it, but is it tinged on any level with a bit of spite and revenge? Is there anybody, like a former lover or a teacher who said that you'd never amount to anything, who you just feel a little sense of satisfaction having achieved a #1 album?
We're just such nice guys.
I'm not a spiteful person, you know?
Oh, but it's good every now and again, isn't it? Even if you're the most kind-hearted, decent person, just a little bit of spite every now and again, just to indulge.
Just forget the negativity, man.
Come on, Chris,
move forward. You gotta move on.
Come on,
move on. Embrace the positive. No.
Nobody's ever.
I honestly can't think, to be honest. I'm sure if I really racked my brain, there's someone I could come up with, but right now, no one comes to mind.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I can't think of anything too specific. I remember I used to fall asleep a lot in high school, which, I guess is making a comeback now in my sleep schedule. And that there was some teacher, and then I applied to this program that they had in my high school called Peer Leadership that was very exclusive, and I had good grades and I was well liked and all that. But then one of the teachers told everybody that I shouldn't get it because I was a huge stoner, and I wasn't a huge stoner by any means. I don't think
medium.
I think I would even say for a high school student, towards the bottom end of the spectrum, every once in a while. And certainly not before school. And it's it's not fair. Teenagers are tired. Just because they fall asleep in class doesn't mean they're a stoner.
No, your bones are growing. It's exhausting.
Exactly. That's how I felt. Does a #1 album have any impact on that?
Come on.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. look at his face, Chris. Look how happy he looks now.
I took my semi-stonerish personality to the top of the charts.
What is in the best 2 years of craziness that you must have had? What is the most like a success and most like a rock star you've felt, and what is the least like a rock star? What is the moment where you could say, yes, it feels like we made it, be it flying in first class or having Iggy Pop come up to you and say, oh, I really enjoy your music? I mean, is there a moment like that where you think, yeah, actually, this feels good?
Well, there's a kind of special moment for me where I feel like it encapsulated both of those things. I was walking in Australia, and a car drove by, and it was blasting Cape Cod Kwassa Kwassa, our song, and that hadn't happened too much to me. And then this group of 15 people were starting running and screaming while the song was playing, and they ran right by me and went to the Red Bull truck that was playing the song, and I think they were just really psyched to get some free Red Bull. It had nothing to do with me. They had no idea who I was. So that was probably the moment.
I think those are the most beautiful ones where you get the high and then the kick
straight
away
exactly.
afterwards. Is it good when you're performing to a huge crowd at a festival or one of your own gigs, and you play A-Punk, for example, to hear everyone shouting A?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, we all those shows, the first times we played them were at like frat parties or, you know, really tiny venues in New York. So, you know, you never assume that just because a song works in one type of venue that's going to work in front of thousands of people. So when a song like that can translate and you have everybody yelling and knowing all the words, it's a pretty good feeling.
When you're in a rehearsal room and you come up with that, you must know that that's going to work in front of a live audience.
Well, you know, Chris Thompson, our drummer, came up with that, and he's probably the person who's seen the most live music over the years, being a fan of the American band Fish, which I know people don't know that much about.
No, we know Fish from Marillion over here, but we're less familiar with the American band.
It's Fish, P-H-I-S-H. They're kind of like they were Chris and the New Grateful Dead. So they're the kind of band that doesn't really have a lot of songs on the radio, but you get all sorts of like hippies and freaks and you know, stoners.
People wearing tie-dye.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he saw them 17 times over the course of his high school years. But anyway, so he's, you know, somebody very much ingrained in live music, so maybe that was part of what made him feel like, hey, was what the song needed. Clearly a very important part.
Absolutely. You strike me as moderately bookish. I wondered if you could give us a book recommendation while you're here. Maybe there's one book that you think everybody should read.
Well, I think my favorite work of modern fiction is the Wind-Up Bird Chronicles by Haruki Murakami. And I found that like whenever I meet people who are also really into that book, they tend not to be people who, you know, study literature or like necessarily read novels all the time, and it's one that I think cuts through to a lot of different people.
Do you want to give us a film while we're at it?
A film while we're at it? Yeah, sure. Well, I like a lot of World War II films, and probably my favorite one is one by it's a director named Elem Klimov. It's a Russian film, or I guess it's kind of Belarusia, but it's called Come and See. Really good movie.
Who needs iTunes or Amazon recommendations when we have Vampire Weekend?
Thank you.
Well, I'll let you go and get settled in down there. I know you're going to be playing a couple of songs for us later. But for now, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.